As a matter of fact, there are two types of basic training. You can train either for muscle mass or endurance, which tends to burn body fat and keep you lean. For those who want to build muscle mass, the most important principle is that of intensity. The harder you train, the more weight you lift, the more you put into it, the more muscle you'll develop. And those who are looking to just remain lean and not develop muscle, perhaps tone themselves, the intensity factor, the amount of weight they lift is not so important. They don't have to push themselves quite as hard. Years ago there was a saying that diet is 80% of bodybuilding, but I don't think you can quantify it that way. You've got to train properly and you've got to eat properly. I think diet is important because one of the first requisites in being a great athlete is that you're healthy, and you've got to eat a well-balanced diet to be healthy. But I don't think it's any more important than that. Many athletes tend to overemphasize certain elements of diet like vitamins and protein, and again, the most important requirement is that you eat a well-balanced diet just so that you're healthy.
Every single workout, I should increase either weight or reps.
Right.
And what if I can't?
Then you're doing something wrong. If you're not making progress, there's a reason, like there's a reason for everything in this universe, including lack of bodybuilding progress. If you're not making progress, then you're violating either one, two, or all three of the principles of the theory of high-intensity training, the one and only valid theory of productive bodybuilding exercise. If you're not making progress, then either number one, you're not training intensely enough to stimulate the increase.
Right.
And or number two, you're doing so many sets, and or number three, so many workouts, your workouts are not brief and infrequent enough, you're preventing the body from producing any increase that might have been stimulated as a result of the workout.
I prefer more running as it burns calories more quickly, though bicycling is an advantage as it is less traumatic to the joints of the ankles and knees. Jogging a mile burns 100 to 120 calories, or roughly 15 calories a minute, while bicycling at a moderate pace, 8 to 13 miles per hour, burns about 8 calories a minute. Your aerobic activities should all be performed at a relaxed pace. If you are breathless, you're increasing the proportion of sugar being burned for fuel and decreasing the use of body fat. If you can't talk easily while jogging or bicycling, you are working too intensely. Perform your aerobics at what is called a conversational pace, and you will be using up to 90% fat as fuel. So, reduce your pace, enjoy yourself, and burn fat at the same time.
No one ever became Mr. America overnight, or with 1 year or 2 years of training even. And it's not very likely you'll be the first one. Just what can you expect from your bodybuilding? Actually, a 5 to 10 pound gain of muscle per year is a considerable achievement. Now, I know that doesn't sound like a lot at first, but looked at longitudinally over a long period of time, let's say 5 years, that comes out to quite a bit of muscle. Growing at that rate, 5 pounds, or let's say 10 pounds even of muscle a year, for 5 years, you'd end up gaining 50 pounds of muscle. Try to picture what 50 pounds of beefsteak would look like on your dinner table, and then picture that amount of flesh distributed all over your body as muscle. It's enough to transform the average adult male weighing 165 pounds into a veritable Hercules at 215 pounds. As a matter of fact, only 2 of the 1979 Mr. Olympia competitors weighed more than 215 pounds. No
aerobic activity, which is what high-intensity or weight training activity is, demands sugar as fuel. The worst way to get cut up is to lift weights, because weight training does not burn fat as fuel. It's a simple medical fact. It's not even open to debate. Weight training burns sugar. And if you're not getting sugar from fruits or vegetables, cereals or grains, where's your muscle going to get sugar to continue contracting? From your own muscle. There's an amino acid contained in your muscle tissue called alanine, which will be broken down, sent to your liver, and turned into glucose. That's why carbohydrates are called protein sparing. It spares your protein from being used for energy. And you can always tell when you start using muscle for energy.
Reduce your calorie intake by 500 to 1,000 a day below maintenance level, and you'll lose 1 to 2 pounds of fat a week. And as long as you're on a proper high-intensity training program, you won't lose muscle, and you will likely even gain some. Reducing your calories 500 to 1,000 per day is sufficient to starve the fat enough to see a meaningful loss, yet still be enough to feed the lean mass and provide for some growth. Once you've lost the desired weight, go into a positive calorie balance as described. Recently, one of my phone clients reported that while on a calorie deficit diet, he lost 11 pounds of body weight over a 3-month period, increased his strength considerably, and even gained a half an inch on his arms. The loss of body weight would have been predominantly or exclusively fat, with certainly none of it being from the contractile protein element in the muscle, as he did grow stronger and put 1/2 inch on his arm.